Okay, it's been a while since I had a video of our garden, so I'm going to show some of the stuff we've been harvesting and eating. We've been eating squash already out of the garden. We've had a lot of zucchini earlier, but they're pretty much done. We're still hoping for more squash, but we've had some squash and here's some more waiting. And we've been getting carrots and beets and tomatoes. This is just one day's picking of tomatoes. We pick tomatoes about every other day. And this is like today's picking of beans. So here's some of our tomato plants. I've just got done picking all the red ones off here, but there's as you can see, there's lots to come here, and some Romas there. That one there probably could have been picked. Oh, there we go. Another tomato plant. These are just the small ones here. Of course, they've all been picked off for the day. This is a plant here that grows just these tiny little yellow tomatoes, and they're very sweet, just like little candies, right? And you can see there's lots on there. For some reason, the one plant's making red ones, but it's probably the cross germinated with something. Okay. And, of course, over here is our rhubarb plants, which we've been, harvested rhubarb a few times already this year. Here we have a patch of celery growing. This is coriander seed. And you replant it and it comes up, you get cilantro. And this is pretty small yet, but we've been eating it earlier in the year. And we just keep the seed and replant it. Of course, a bunch of dill here. Lettuce patch that's almost done. These are cayenne peppers. Yeah, lots on there. Bought that plant by mistake. We have some bell peppers, right? And a tomato plant over here, which I've already pulled most of the reddest ones off earlier today. Another things we got growing in here is our chives and our I don't know what you call it, Maggie or something like that, or leverage. Okay, and what else we got? Beefsteak tomatoes over here, right? We've been eating a few of those, looking good. We have some bean plant here. We got beets. We've been pulling beets out. You notice everything's all mixed in together because you harvest one thing that makes room for more to grow. Carrot plant, and we have more of those little yellow tomatoes. Okay, we have our Brussels sprout plants, which we won't harvest until end of October, and our cabbage. Again, that'll be our latest vegetables we harvest. Here's more beefsteak tomatoes and some smaller tomatoes there. This patch here, there's nothing right now. That used to be where our zucchini was. We had quite a lot of zucchini we were able to harvest. A new patch of lettuce greens coming up there, salad greens. Okay, and a squash plant. And we have some butternut squash coming along. Okay, and over here, okay, there's a lot more beans back in there. We have some turnips growing under there somewhere too. That's for never had turnips before. We'll look at them again. And there's more green beans and beets over here too. We have things mixed up all over the place. More tomato plants, right? And peppers, a big green bell pepper in there, yeah. Big patch of celery. I like my celery. You can just pick off a piece at a time and eat it, or later on in the year we'll harvest the entire stalk. And our little batch of beans growing. More tomatoes. Okay, we go back over here. There's a patch of carrots in here we've been harvesting. We've seen the carrots in the house earlier. There's a turnip coming up under there, and then a turnip over here. Okay, first time we ever had any turnip in our garden. And we'll just come step back a bit here. You can see the whole layout here. Everything's mixed together because some things finish earlier. We can pull them out. It gives more room for other things to grow. Our squash plants have pretty much run their course. They're looking a bit rough right now, but this year we've had them growing on trellises up high. It was all covered with green plants before. You might have seen some of the other photos I had of this before when our squash was doing much better. Okay, if we go over by the house here, we got leeks growing up against the house. We've already harvested leeks early in the summer that we leave in all winter long, and they survive quite well. So these here, we'll be able to harvest some of these leeks when we want them, and we will leave some of them in the ground and harvest them next year. And we have also see some onions here, some red onions. They haven't got real big and they're falling over, but we've been eating them whenever we need onions. Just come out here and pull them out, and they're ready to go. Okay. And that's how our garden's doing this year. Quite happy with that. Quick look over here. That's a new rain barrel we put in. 75 gallons. It rained for a half hour today. It was right empty, now it's right full. We'll quickly go around the other side of the house. We have, if you might have seen my rain barrel videos already, this apparatus here catches rainwater. One pipe's an overflow. The other one feeds it through this 1.5-inch hose. Goes back around behind the shed. And because the house is up quite a bit higher than the shed, I get enough pressure. It pushes it up this pipe here and into these barrels, into these tanks. They each hold 1,000 liters of water. Before the rain today, we were down about here, and it filled it up that much. So I suspect with the rain in the forecast by Monday, these tanks will be full of water. I use this water for the garden and to water the grass. As you can imagine, 2,000 liters of water, it gives me quite a bit of water. Okay, great.